Did you talk to your mom?
Oh. No, because she didn't call me back.
I thought you were gonna call her.
I can't talk right now, so can I call you back later? And I was like, yeah. Later has not come.
Damn.
Later is still going. Welcome to Queeries.
Taking the lead. No, I like it.
No, go for it. Go for it. Do it again though.
That was a good way
Much
to...
more loud and demanding and
Welcome to Queeries. Wait, no.
All together on three.
Welcome to Queeries.
Y'all went a little more baritone on it than I did. I like that.
I like that.
Oh, like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to Queeries Pod, everybody. This is episode 14. Yes. We are going to give you all a little bit of an update as to the channel, the ways you can support us, such as our good and lovely Substack and Patreon. Last week, we were supposed to be releasing an episode, but because of me being sicky, we had to reschedule. And then we had to reschedule again because drag queens are really hard to track down. So next week, we will hopefully be filming our drag episode with Carmen Devereaux, and I'm pleased to announce that and say all of that. I know I've been hiding it from y'all, but that's just because I'm shy.
Surprise.
It's Carmen Devereaux. I work with them at TNC, and so I know them by their non-drag name before I even realized it was them. Our paid exclusive content will be them putting me in drag before we do the podcast. So I will be in drag for the podcast, potentially, allegedly. But if you want to see it happen and see how she does the makeup and how we prepare for it and everything like that, you have to give us a few dollars every month, okay? I think releasing the mini-sode was really, really fun. I enjoyed getting to put that little bit of like content out there that's just a little different from the podcast.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people enjoyed I only put out one clip because I went on vacation, but the one clip I did post, everybody seemed to like. I will post more of those. I have more. I have like 9 of them. So there's plenty of content. I just need to. Alex has decided to invest more into this project and give a little bit more of himself to us. And I'm very, very grateful and like incredibly appreciative that somebody with the amount of knowledge and skills that you have, you're going to come along and help us through this fun little super project.
That was sweet.
It's not a little project. She's a super project, hun.
That was sweet.
You've heard his voice several times. You've seen his face on an episode. Now we're doing round 2. Ding ding. The other stuff we're going to do today is we're going to actually we all brought up some good queries. We're going to talk about each other's queries today. They're a lot more deep and meaningful and impactful questions that are going to require us to use our noggins a lot more. Not in a like political way, more in the sense of just like actually talking about the way we feel about life and things and feelings and emotions and how we see the world and inner child stuff. Of course, I had to drop some mental health questions in there because good Lord knows that we need more. Okay. Did you talk to your mom?
Oh. No, because she didn't call me back.
I thought you were going to call her.
I can't talk right now, so can I call you back later? And I was like, yeah. Later has not come.
Damn.
Later is still going.
What's a promise that can never break? Because there's always later.
T.
What? That's a good saying. I've never heard that before.
I think I made it up. I don't know.
Oh.
T. Oh my gosh. I saw somebody. We were talking about an artist who was upset at the way that their art was being perceived and like was lashing out online about it. And it was a lot of those like statements of like, you make the art for yourself, but you don't get to control how other people receive it and then interpret it and then perceive it and like put out their own opinions on it. Mm-hmm. I think that's something as an artist of a different form, I'm like, I kind of have to know that whatever I say or whatever I do or whatever goes out into the internet is my version of art, and anyone and everyone's allowed to look at it, respond to it however they want. Knock on wood, we haven't had any haters.
That's been pretty good, smooth sailing so far.
Yeah, we've had.
Come on, where you at?
you
at?
trying to pick a fight.
Come on.
somebody try to pick a fight with me.
I've got a lot of pent up anger. No.
Me too, though. That's why I'm in all black.
Where
it's
you
somebody's
at?
funeral, just not mine. Other Substack videos coming down the pipeline. We have a video with Bob, Connor's episode, which we will be dropping very soon on our Substack and Patreon channels for our paid subscribers. That one is Connor did a little doodle for us.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very cute. You've seen it in the background before. Now there's a space heater because it gets cold in here. And wintertime is afoot. And then we have our episode where we make friendship bracelet.
That one ain't going to be a mini episode.
It's not. That one will not be called a mini-sode. It may be called a mini-sode for continuity purposes, but it will be as long as a podcast episode. we didn't even finish all the questions I had.
I mean, that's anytime I'm in front of the camera, that's bound to happen. I don't know how to. Someone got to string me along on a leash. I'll talk forever.
There's nothing wrong with that. One of my favorite clips from the last one was you going, I love people like that, when I was talking about like at listeners and stuff like that. You're like, I love it when people just shut up and listen. And I was like, period.
Not shut up. I admire people who can listen, because it's like it's a skill that I've struggled with when I was a kid. And I mean, I probably say, because I'm critical of myself, I probably struggle with it now, but I check in with those who I confide into, and they're like, "No, you listen." So
yeah,
I gotta get that check in once in a while, but
you just need the reassurance. You need reassurance because it's an insecurity. Yes.
I don't want people feeling heard,
and that's good, because a lot of people go unheard, and it's good to be a champion for the unheard.
They gotta make podcasts. We'll have episodes, and I'm behind the camera, and I'll just zone out, and I'd be like, "Remember whenever Blank talked about Blank?" I'd be like,
no, I don't remember.
I was like, you were there.
Yeah, no, I as much as I'd love to be like, I expect recall perfect from every person around me. Absolutely not, because I can't recall shit. I smoke marijuana.
What is it called? Like, it's perfect recall. It's like a certain type of memory. What is it called?
Eidetic.
Yeah. Eidetic?
I think eidetic. Because that's because photographic is when you can recall images perfectly. I think eidetic memory is when you can recall just like anything.
Yeah.
I used to thought I had a photographic memory.
Oh, I don't know how you would tell if you do. I think I do.
I mean, I picture everything in my head, and I remember exactly what it looked like.
Going so off topic, but did you know that there's people who cannot picture things in their head?
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
Yeah, girl, neurodivergence is wild.
Like, there's someone I work with who's awesome, and like I was like, just picture this blank in your head, and we can move it this way or whatever. And like, I can't do that. And I was like, what? And like, and we got this whole topic, and I was like, so like if I said, think of an apple in a dark room with one light source hitting it, and it's a red apple with like one green leaf, and like, I don't know what you're talking. I can't see it. I can't see it in my head.
That's like, wild.
See, I can see it in my head, but my head automatically makes it into a horror movie where something's gonna go wrong.
That's weird.
Well, that's because my trauma basically tells me
your imagination is just tainted by nightmare.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Not weird. That's awful.
It is awful. It's pretty rough.
Expand my description on that.
Yeah. I can picture what you're thinking, just a scary apple.
Yeah, there's also people who don't have an inner dialogue. Like, and don't talk in their heads about what's happening around them.
Yeah. Like I've had like close friends who I've had conversations with, like, like you don't have like words in your head.
Yeah.
Like, no, you think in words, and I'm like, yeah, I think in full sentences. And I hear my own voice. Like
argument with myself.
I prefer it that way.
Shower.
I do that all the time, and I'm like, this is the only way I want to argue because it's in here.
If anyone was like had their ear up to the door, they just ran to like, and I said that. And like just like the end statement of me winning an argument.
And I said that.
And I'd be like, yeah, walk away. Like,
I hear those footsteps. Yeah, walk away. Neurodivergence is one of those things that like people don't necessarily realize is a part of them until someone else is like, oh, I experienced that too. Did you know that's part of being neurodivergent? Because I think neurodivergence allows for there to be this like wide array of like diverse versions of our brains, because our brains are all unique. They are similar in many ways structurally, but different structures get different amounts of power and energy based on the person's life and their environment.
Yeah.
My amygdala is probably super huge compared to other people's, because it's the survival part of your brain, and like I've had to survive constantly, and so that part of my brain gets a lot more attention from the neurotransmitters and all of those things and the wirings that we have. The great thing about neuroplasticity in our brains is that our brains are able to form new neurotransmitter pathways and allow for growth within our own brains by unlearning old things and like cutting off old habits. Neuroplasticity is not something you lose as a child, like as an adult. I mean, you always have the ability to unlearn something, unless, of course, like you have a deteriorative disease where your brain is not able to create new because it's being destroyed constantly. Anyways, neuroplasticity is that beautiful part of psychology that I really like, because it shows that anyone and everyone is able to change.
Ooh, I have a question. Or not argue, but my question would be.
My question is an argument.
My question is not an argument, but it can be. Like, you know, people say like, what is it? I can't teach an old dog new tricks and stuff like that. Like that whole, or like some people say some people are just born evil.
Yeah, like if you're stuck in your ways or whatever.
So I would call that specifically generational trauma. The problems of the generation before you get besieged onto you because you're born into the world that is their hell already.
Yeah, you just pick up on it really quickly.
And you're taught things from a young age that are not true, or not correct, are harmful to yourself and others. What you are born into and the environment that surrounds you is who you become as a child, unless you see it as wrong because you have an outside perspective.
Yeah.
That's why it's good to have diverse populations. That's why it's good to have people in your corner who are not just like you, who do not look like you, who do not talk like you, who do not walk like you, do anything like you. You need people who are different so they can say, hey, that's not actually how that works.
Yeah.
Or you're talking from a place of privilege that I think you need to check.
Because I think that argument that like people can't change is ultimately what's at the core of like reactionary belief and like conservatism.
Because people can change. Like it's literally it's a physical human capability that we have, is the ability to change. It is within the person though of whether or not that change happens.
Yeah.
Because if somebody doesn't want change to happen, it will not happen. You cannot change somebody else.
Yeah, because if it's just like life's not fair, that's the way it is, shit sucks, buddy. Like, that's kind of what lays the base of like, oh, well, progress is pointless. So why do USJWs try?
Also, like if you are always taught that the system will always fail you, why the fuck do we need a system? And that's where intervention comes in and says, actually, there are good systems around to help out and like be supportive of a person. And that's one of the reasons I love doing what I did prior, is because it was a system that was actually set up to be useful and successful for people.
Yeah.
And I was a family intervention specialist. I learned what intervening really was, and like coming into a space and saying, okay, I am here to intervene in your problems.
Yeah, and to show you how change is in fact possible.
Yes, because just making a small change in an attitude, or looking at someone a little different, or changing your tone or attitude as you speak to them, can literally create new and better relationships, because you're actually listening and taking feedback and receiving that and going, okay, yeah,
exactly.
I have a tone when I speak to you. Oh, I look at you and I like, you feel a certain way when I look at you, it bothers you. Those are things that like you should hear and take note of and go, okay, does this person matter to me? Period. Does this person does making this change mean positive things for me and for the people around me? If I don't make this change, will I lose the people around me because it is harming them and affecting them and hurting them? So you see how the third one was thinking about other people. The first two are both thinking about self, because self is the first project. If you are not good at being kind to yourself, you're not going to be good at being kind to other people, because the way to talk to yourself is the worst way you would ever talk to anybody else. And that's real tea, y'all. I know you're going to say, well, I would never speak to someone else that way. Good. I would hope not. That's horrible as hell. Speak to yourself better, please, because I don't want to hear you self-deprecate, because that means we have a project to work through.
You shut that shit down.
Well, it's more of a call, like a curiosity of like, why do you think that I'm going to laugh at you self-deprecating? Like, why do you think it's funny to put yourself down?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, it's not funny because you're harming yourself. Self-harm does not always leave scars.
Those are just really unattractive.
It's so ugly.
Yeah.
It is ugly boots, girl.
We were talking about that. Everyone does it. I mean, especially in times of like stress or like really hard criticism from the world or from people you love. You just immediately like are like, oh my gosh, it just rebounds in your head.
Yeah.
And then what it does is it gains velocity in your head by your own words and your own thoughts.
And you know what's great? You want to know their neurodivergence thing? Not everybody repeats those things in their heads because they don't actually hear that they were the problem.
That's so strange.
Yeah.
They're just like, okay, and move on. They don't even think about it again.
Yes, I go out of my way to find ways that I'm the problem.
Exactly. Neurodivergence had.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you have OCD. Diagnosed severe OCD. I wasn't going to call it severe because that's not my T. You called it severe first.
My doctors call it severe first, so
T. I got some severes too. Okay. I would love it if, as long as you're comfortable, I would love to like kind of have you discuss what that actually like looks like for you, because a lot of people, I was not even aware to the level of like looping and stuff like that it like actually harms you. Start from the beginning of like. Something happens, a thought enters your brain.
So I mean, like, I guess the earliest like memories I have of it were being like in 3rd or 4th grade and like rubbing holes into my notebook paper trying to like erase and rewrite sentences or words or letters perfectly. To the point that I would like be staying in at recess and like doing my homework till like late at night past my bedtime. And my parents would find these like shredded sheets of paper and be like, hey, what is going on? And that was just kind of the surface too, because I was having like looping thoughts of like religious, like trauma and scrupulosity, like even as a kid that like, and I would share these fears with my parents, and they couldn't make any sense of them. So I eventually got a child therapist at OU Med. They pretty quickly realized that I had some like OCD anxiety patterns, that actually mirrored a lot of what my dad exhibited from some trauma from being in law enforcement. Partly just, the training of law enforcement breaks you down and makes you so like
dependent on them.
Yeah, exactly. Like part of the like police academy system is to make you mentally unhealthy.
Yeah, beat you down to build you back up again.
So of course, what does that do to their families?
Sorry.
Yep.
That's just my whole field of study.
So yeah, I think it came a little bit from that, and I mean, obviously, just genetically, like both my parents are pretty neurodivergent, and my whole family is.
Yes. Very.
So it was just kind of the perfect storm of like comorbidities that ended up in me just having a lot of rumination and recurring thoughts, and my OCD's never really been around hygiene or germs like it is for most people, because I feel like order and cleanliness is a big thing for a lot of people. Me, it's more like moral scrupulosity and harm, like fear of harming others largely. Like I'll find convoluted ways that like some kind of small thing that I do can butterfly effect into causing massive damage to someone I care about, or even to a stranger.
I'm undiagnosed, and I'm afraid, honestly, to ever go get diagnosed.
It helped me a lot, actually.
I know that I got it from an immediate family member. Like, not like it's like something you just catch, but like I mirrored that person.
They breathed on me.
Yeah. I caught it. No, I know that I have.
Would you say it was generational?
Yeah, like it's definitely generational related trauma. And mine is very much 100% most of the time related to hurting those that I love.
Yeah.
Or even people that I just
don't know
to see.
Yeah.
Like it's so like
like I feel so seen.
Like how do I explain this? My partner, anytime I text them and they're like about to drive. I always say, please drive safe. People who are crazy drivers. In my head, I'll just get like the worst 10-year span of like an image of like something terrible just happening, having to deal with it, having like just like every interaction.
Yeah. What if my life fell apart right now?
Yeah, and just like and I'm sure there's other.
I think about that
all the time though, and it's something that I should probably go get diagnosed and figure that out. But
I mean, the point of a diagnosis is to understand yourself better, not to just have a label for something.
For sure. And most of that, like I always say this, I read a lot, and I have a lot of good support. That's to the point where it's not like
a necessity.
Like, a necessity.
Yeah, like you're self-educated on it.
Like I have a good support system. Yeah, I'm very very privileged and happy to have, and I'm very grateful. And when it happens, usually the best way that I found to like get past it was like cross my T's. I just like cross my T's and cross my like
dot your eyes
or dot my eyes and dot my ey's and cross my
T's.
Which is like to always say, I love you to those who I love, even if it's going to the car, like and back in the house within 5 minutes. Like, and it can be repetitive and annoying, I'm sure.
But love is meant to be repetitive and annoying.
Yeah, like just no matter what, even if like I got into a fight with someone that I cared about or loved, I will always like if we're stepping away, I would like get your ass back here. I love you. Goodbye. Like it's we're not leaving on a non like you need to know this like because like that is the worst
case scenario.
Yeah, the worst case scenario is like if something did happen and I didn't tell them that I guarantee would be like I would need years of like therapy. Like, and it has happened. So.
Because I've expressed that same fear to you, which is why I say I love you and drive safe to literally like everyone.
Yeah, it's like Spider-Man and Uncle Ben.
Yeah, that honestly that might have caused this problem.
Damn,
Spider-Man traumatized a whole generation.
Now it's not like life debilitating or anything, so I wouldn't consider it like severe or anything, but definitely feel heard.
Thank you for both of you for sharing
that
because I have similar things, but not from an OCD perspective because I'm able to we have moments where we just can't connect on what's going on and because I can understand your words, but I can't understand your emotion.
A lot of the time the spiral will just skew my reality.
Me too.
Yeah, to a point where like sometimes it feels like you can't hear what I'm saying as like truth to reality because it's like no the picture that has been painted in my brain is the only one I can see right now. Dysregulation is what's so important there is that your mind is dysregulated. I also come at it from a trauma perspective, which is not what's going on. You're not traumatized in that way. Like your OCD is like a literal, like it's yours. It's not something that trauma created for you.
Right.
Whereas like, I think if I was born with any mental illnesses, it's some anxiety and some depression. But then I have CPTSD locked in forever. And that is fully stuff that was done to me, not automatic for me. And so I have a lot of similar issues. I just don't I see them from a perspective of I've had all of these things already happen to me. I'm not worried about them happening again because I've learned, but like, that's where it comes back to of like, this person doesn't love me. This person doesn't care about me. My feelings are worthless to them. All of these things, they come back because I've been told that story before, not because my brain is telling me the story and like creating the story. My stuff comes from past events or like nightmares I've already had.
Yeah.
I mean, as I've already said, nightmares do be happening. But I think that's the only way that I am able to like remind myself that the way that we have to go through those things are not the same. Because like mine is from a different perspective and from a different like point of view. And I don't have OCD because I don't know what it's like to have this, like the severe need of like looping.
I don't want to like self-diagnose, by the way. I coordinate like when people talk about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, that happens to me too. Definitely more of like I didn't know that was something that's like can be diagnosed as not like something that is seen as a socially normal thing to do.
Yeah.
How do you get out of the looping? Like, what is your...
I am still definitely learning.
Because I don't think we found it yet. That's coming from from my perspective as a mental health professional. CBT is very like, it's not very invasive. It's very soft. And like, I would say yours is severe enough that you need a little bit more focused and like, as we've talked about, some form of an exposure therapy to the point where you're able to like see reality versus fake and like understand.
What would exposure therapy look like for that?
It's a great question.
I'm just curious. I was like,
but it would be putting yourself in situations where you think something bad may happen and allowing yourself to not have control and then realizing that nothing bad is happening. Exposing yourself to the truths of the world. Some of them are evil because evil does exist, but there's also a lot of positive parts of the world and things that will not confirm your fears because your fears aren't always correct. They're fears there to make you survive. Fears are placed in us for survival instincts. We have a fear of abandonments. We have a fear of all of these things because something's happened to cause us to be afraid. Or someone's done something to us to cause us to be afraid. And that's some real tea.
Yeah, definitely.
Or generationally, someone generations before has done that and it's just been a taught lesson passed on. Like I was taught don't speak unless spoken to, and I will be silent for days if no one asks me a question because I'm like that's what I was taught. Is that correct? No, because I should feel autonomously free to speak my mind however the hell I'd like to. It's one of those things you have to unlearn those consequences of generational trauma, because that's a military perspective. I was literally raised as a military brat. So I'm like, I was raised as a little military soldier, did not speak unless spoken to. People automatically were supposed to get my respect, even if they didn't respect me. Also don't want to get yelled at. Do not yell at me. The military is all about yelling in your face. And I would literally be like, I'm going to punch someone. I can't do it. I don't want to punch you, but you're just yelling at me and I don't receive that.
That was like the number one biggest rule in any house I ever will be in or want to be feel welcome in or have others feel welcome in is no yelling. Yeah. Unless you're like goofing around, that's fine. But
we have to get away from saying no angry yelling at all.
No, yeah.
Because humanity calls us to do that sometimes. And I'm hearing that lesson a lot these days of like, oh, you didn't raise your voice when they hurt you? No? Ooh.
If I have to raise my voice, there's no reason to speak.
And that's usually why I go quiet.
That's and I don't mean that like just let them step on you or whatever. I mean like walk away.
Yeah.
Like that's my goal. Like if I ever feel like I have to yell at somebody, I walk away. Because it's like it's not worth my time because I'm about to yell because they're not listening, and if they're not listening, their yelling's not going to make them listen. So like it's just gonna.
But sometimes it's all about getting it out for yourself.
Oh yeah, I'll go to my room and scream in the pillow, but that's fine.
In that corner, you can yell.
Yeah, there's a pillow.
Has a corner in the house for screaming. This is the scream corner in case you get a little upset.
It's like got sound foam panels.
I did read a thing that was talking about, I guess I listened to it, like fake scream yelling, like is really good for your facial structure and for releasing tension in your face, because like that's getting out a lot of that like hormone and frustration energy without necessarily screaming from the top of your lungs and hurting your throat. But silently. It feels good, honestly. I was doing it the other day. It looks really weird, though. We should get into some of these questions because we've already been going for 44 minutes.
I mean, we can segue right into that one.
Well, we've kind of already talked about generational trauma just a little bit. But generational trauma is the little things that are constantly taught to you as a child that were taught to your parents as a child, that were taught to their parents as a child, that were taught to their parents as a child. And it trickles down throughout time, like trickle down economics. Shout out Hillary Clinton. She said that in the debate with Donald Trump. That's all I remember from that debate. And it was just a meme for a long time. Trickle down economics. Sorry. Off topic. I'm unmedicated. Like the little lessons that you get taught as a child, like sometimes when you grow up, your parents realize that those were not things they should have taught you because they realize as they get older, that's not how you're supposed to do life. That's called breaking a cycle. Generational trauma and cycle breakers are best friends. I am what you would call a cycle breaker. I do not adhere to my family's generational trauma and the issues that they have. I am, in fact, trying to break all of those. Racism, sexism, xenophobia, homophobia, transphobia, all the phobias, all of that. My family is riddled with it all. Under that, I see them as people who have potential to change and use that neuroplasticity. It's there to, one, remind us that the problems of the past do not have to prevail, and they don't have to be our future. I think that that's a Gen Z like big thing right now, is that we're like fed the fuck up with everything that's happened before us, because we're just seeing history continue to repeat itself, and we're like, we're done. There's a lot of cycle breakers in our generation because of the fact that we're at a time where our information is so easily accessible to where we can know if something's wrong quickly. Whether or not we use that information correctly is another thing. But generational trauma is that issue that stems from like the idea of pilgrims and all of that. Like it's because I'm a member of the Addams family, so I've got that generational trauma from way back John Adams days. Yes, unfortunately, I'm related to those people. I don't get to choose who I'm related to. Okay, you and I have talked a lot about generational trauma. Is there any?
All have.
Yes, we all have.
Oh my god.
Is there anything that you've learned through our conversations that you've taken away and been like, okay, this is that you apply and recognize? But like oftentimes people leave being like, oh, I didn't realize that's what that was.
I mean, I think that I already had a pretty good idea of some of the patterns that needed to be broken in my family. My dad is also kind of estranged from a lot of his bio family just due to some cycles that had to be broken on his part. Yeah, I mean, I think that it's just something to always stay aware of and educated about, because there's always some kind of like, even if it's not something you're conscious of, a latent behavior within you that you've picked up from somebody as a coping mechanism.
Yeah. And that's also, I forgot to do the science part of it all, that it is a hormonal change too. Because like, for example, if you are in your mama's belly and she's having a traumatic time outside in the world, her hormones are changing. Her hormonal changes then impact your hormones inside the womb, which then automatically sets you up to have different issues, makes comorbidity more likely. That's where that generational trauma of like actual science comes into play, because when you're in the womb, your mother is feeding everything to you. She's breathing life into you.
Yeah. And even I think there's some kind of evidence behind, I don't know where I read or heard this, but like the things that you carry from experiences in life, like the traumas that you carry in your body can be passed on genetically. Like those have like impacts, like they have greater impacts upon your DNA structure.
Yeah. Will be like the Great Depression. The mindset of the family, because me, mom, and pappy lived through the Great Depression. They were kids during that period. So they have that like conservative mindset of you have to hold on to every little thing because it could be valuable one day. If the economy breaks again, you have to have something in your back pocket.
I mean, it can even just be something as simple as like, oh, you're more prone to having higher cortisol levels because your parents were always stressed out about like
hormones.
Whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like the animal kingdom. I mean,
yes.
Now our biological like changes are more social than they would be like if
Love a social outing.
Social.
Love a social outing.
This is why like a lot of the social aspects of our biological changes are so prevalent now. We have so much neurodiversity and trauma that's generational, is because I mean all that stuff is coming down from how did this person survive? Okay, let's pass this on genetically because then they're more likely to survive.
Yep.
And it's all social reasoning now than it is getting
actual
mauled
survival
by an animal.
Yeah.
And so
we've been taught to survive against people, not against animals.
Yeah, and like
because that's
word
who
of
we...
mouth and information and it's I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more studies we can reference and stuff that I don't have on the top of my head, and I'm probably not a good person to relay all that than you are. You're way more, probably more than I am on that, but because you studied it.
Potentially.
But
allegedly.
I definitely have some generational trauma. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone does. I mean,
but they don't all know it exists.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm all right, my family's all right. They don't like it's all very passive with what's been wrong or how someone, raised you to act.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and especially whenever you're raised by a family who's going by the social norms as much as possible to try and raise a normal family, that alone is
because there's no such thing.
Yeah, because you're
looking for
like
perfectionism.
Yeah. And so even if you're in that box and you think like, oh, I say and do all the normal things. I went to college, I did this and all this because my parents wanted to raise a normal life and normal everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you also have an experience that's unlike
anyone else.
I mean,
yeah, that's inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
And so even normal people, there's no such thing.
No.
There's a social.
I'm going to have to walk away the next time that happens.
There's a social concept of normal within all societies. And I mean, that's the point of the podcast, to break that. I mean, and the point of, like you said, Gen Z being a strong advocate for most generations to break normalcy of society norms.
I mean, we're like raising fires in other countries and like destroying buildings because we're done with it. We haven't done that here. Intersectionality, I think, is kind of connected to what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The idea that even though since we're all white people, we all look the same in that regard, but we all have different parts of our lives that are called intersections that meet different other aspects of our lives. Being queer is an intersection. We go down to intersection. But what I found in queerness is because queerness is so diverse and wide, it's not just one intersection, because there's trauma and issues within the intersection too. So she's like broken into several intersections. I also think that that's why it's important to surround yourself with diverse populations so you can understand what intersectionality actually is and looks like. And that's why we as a podcast make sure we're bringing on people who represent different and diverse backgrounds so that intersectionality is shown to the audience as well, in a way to say like, we all are different, but we all are also the same because we go through life and have tribulations and challenges, which is the same as every other person. We just don't go through the same challenge and tribulations, but we all experience it. Now, I say that talking as a common person. When we're talking ultra rich, no, they don't meet. No.
There's just a certain bar of living. It's like I'm the analogy person for sure, but it's like it's like a glass barrier and it's muffled on both sides for either party, and like a certain like limit on when you are in an environment like ultra rich, you're just muffled to the other sounds of the violence on the other side, and you're complacent because it's muffled, and you're not trying to get through, because if you get through, you have to become a part of it in some aspects. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like there's no like that person's that way and that person's that way with whatever dollar amount they make. It's not that at all.
Because we can't always assume that just because somebody's rich, they're going to be a bad person.
Yeah, or whatever stance they take, like on certain things. It's like,
some of those certain stances would be pertinent.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about like not every person that says they stand for something like
actually stands for it.
Yeah, it's just because they throw money at it, and so
see.
Like,
because they have money.
I'm calling out people who are ultra rich and throw money at things, and then.
I mean, we could go on a tangent about Taylor Swift if we needed to.
Right, and so.
That girl, no, I can't get into
half of your Oklahoma audience, just now. Talk about Taylor Swift. No, I'm kidding.